the listeners. If
This was so good,
if you had that issue, listen and it is fixed, let us know. Because we don't want you to miss nothing. Because today we're going deep sea diving. We're splitting it. We're splitting every atom. You understand? So I want you to caption today's discussion the chokehold submission. And the opening salvo, KB, you'll understand why.
Yeah.
The chokehold submission, where you know in wrestling. We all watch wrestling, KB. And when they hold you in a chokehold, KB, you know it's easy to get away. Eventually, you will succumb to the pressure and you will surrender. The strength of any democracy is hinged on embracing diverging views and belief, whether religious or political. Some more modern democracies have even moved beyond including the right to determine even sexual orientation and the right to choose gender. Countries go to great lengths to protect the right to choose, associate, and the right of freedom of conscience, even in terms of political association. Grenada is heading into a new direction, opposite to the place where freedom of expression and the right to associate and to choose to support a political party different from the one that sits in power is now quickly becoming a crime. Persons who think or perceive to be different is treated with scorn by this new administration. The tactic is to squeeze the living daylight out of persons with certain views by starving them from opportunity or reaping them from position to ensure they first bow to, how do you call the guy? Baby Jesus? Or punish if you refuse. That takes me, KB, because you know I always like to speak about the book. That takes me back to King Nebuchadnezzar and the 3 Hebrew boys. Case in point, senior persons in the police force have been placed in a chokehold before they can be confirmed in their respective position, either for punishment based on the perceived alliance to the NNP or to ban them from the belief of power that be. The forces passing of the new suppression legislation, KB. The new Suppression of Freedom Expression Act, refusing to listen to the people, to consult or to get the view of others, and attempting to trick the Grenadian public to believe it was an NNP bill. The pooling of house ownership from the people from Carriacou, KB, the chokehold on them intended to push them into submission. If you support the NNP, you're wrong. And it's this type of choke to bend them into submission. Decolonization is already sending a signal by the people for the NDC people. Next time you support me or else. KB. The toilet and bathroom project remain the same, but now they change it to the hog wash, focusing on sanitation. And when he speak about the faith-based people, he didn't recognize sanitation. We know this is not new, KB. And it's just old talk and mama guy. So while the people continue to suffocate, they push to take photographs, Igwe, and pose on Facebook, which is in itself a chokehold on the mind of the unsuspecting, KB. the National Democratic Congress feels it is popular despite the cries of the people, as Mount Zion says, some balling with their mouth closed. Grenadians, I implore you to take up the spirit of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and refuse to bow. If we perish, like in Esther time, if we perish, we perish. Free your minds, Grenadian. Knowledge will give you power, KB, but character will give you respect. Yeah. That the Congress need to understand. Even though you have power, but if you don't treat people right, you will never have respect. And whilst we are at it, KB, before I forget, I want somebody to call on when we start to take calls, not yet, to tell me what is the price of gas. I want somebody to call when we start to take calls and tell me the price of gas. So in our attempt to unmask and to debunk the transformational agenda, I'm going to give you the meaning of a few words, Kennedy Boudlal. Transformation, a thorough or dramatic change in form. An example, a simple example of transformation, you know, when a caterpillar eagle turn into a butterfly, you call that transformation. Yeah. Victimization, the act of singling out someone for cruel and unjust punishment, corruption, dishonest or fraudulent conduct by those in power. Natural justice, in law, it is a technical terminology for the rule against bias and the right to a fair hearing, Igwe. Igwe, I'm not stooping. I'm not bending. I'm not bowing to nobody. So when this government make the mistake, Igwe, I'll be here on the People's Parliament and I will remind them so that they could fix it or to inform the people of this nation. Anytime one does not agree with the National Democratic Congress administration, what they say to that person, KB, you do support in the transformational agenda. But the question is, what is the transformational agenda? And through today's program, KB, we'll ask some questions. Yeah, we'll give our observation and we'll summarize the transformational agenda. Because, Igwe, we have a clip, you know. When this Prime Minister was in Tobago, KB, and the question was posed to me, say, we campaign on a transformational agenda, but it was more restorative justice, Igwe. And restorative justice, it refers to an approach to justice that seeks to repair harm by providing an opportunity for those harmed and those who take responsibility for the harm to communicate about addressing their needs in the aftermath of a crime. So I want to know, KB, what crime did the NNP commit that this present Prime Minister talking about restorative justice? And KB, I'm going to say that I don't care if you vex or not. The PRG government for 4 years, 7 months, and 17 days, they what commit crimes against the people. Yeah. But nobody seek restorative justice against them. But this Prime Minister comes talking about restorative justice. And I'm going to explain restorative justice in the context of what is happening to this country. Why I need not hog the mic, KB. So the floor is now yours to have you opening salve.
Master Carter, you mentioned Esther in the Bible.
Yeah.
And you know that's my favorite book in the Bible?
Yes.
I had enough time in prison to read the Quran and to read the Bible. And I compare both of them. Both books very exciting and could lift your spiritual development especially in prison. And you talking about that kind of justice, restorative justice. Master Carl, I make 42 months in solitary confinement in Richmond in prison during the revolution. And they decide to go compensate me. What a shame to tell people how much money they give me for compensation. $4,000 for the 4.5 years in solitary confinement. That is the kind of justice. Okay. And some people still don't receive anything. Some people lost their life and the parents don't get anything. Listeners of Real FM, I'm not happy here today at all. For the week, I'm very, very unhappy. You understand? I don't want to take issue with anybody, you know. But I have something to tell all you NNP people. Please, don't kick down the pot of food. Don't kick down the pot of food. If you kick down the pot of food, only NDC that will be eaten. NNP people will have problem, wouldn't get nothing to eat. I've just spoken to a shopkeeper the other day. And he said, KB reached to a stage where people stop make market. They stop buy grocery to last them the week. They shopping 3 times a day. They have to make breakfast in the morning, they send in the shop. Lunch, they send in the shop. Supper, they send in the shop. And sometimes he asks most of the rum drinkers to come from the counter, go on the other side. Because some people come in and buy 1 onion. And they don't want people to know it's only an onion they could buy. Or $3 oil. They don't want people to know it's only $3 oil they could buy. Or have $3, give me a piece of chicken. They make a soup for the children. He reached that stage. He reached that stage in our life. So NNP, you have NDC campaigning for you. Every move the NDC making now is to ensure that we take power in the NNP. So if NDC campaigning for you, why kick down the pot of food? One time, I spoke to one of my friends. Every time they go on Facebook, they attacking Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell this, he attack call him. I say, Solia, you know what you're doing? You know what you're doing? You cannot treat Dr. Mitchell as any ordinary person. Somebody who makes sacrifice for this country. Educator. Successful businessman. And the number 1 parliamentarian in the region. And you could say what you want about Kit Mitchell. You can't say he don't perform. He make mistake. But you can't say he don't perform. If you disagree with Dr. Mitchell, you still have to treat him with respect and with dignity. He earned that. He deserved that. You could disagree with him. Many occasions I disagree with Dr. Mitchell. Many, many times. But for me, to come on radio or go on all over the place and curse Kit Mitchell, I won't reduce myself to that level. At one time, I hear some people start taking snap at Peter David. I say, Alio, stop that. Stop that. Some people start taking snap on Delma Thomas. I say, Alio, stop that. Stop that. Don't go down that road. We are one people. NNP don't know that kind of fight. We know fighting NDC. for what they have done to the people of this country where they are on the faith base. The poor people taking away the 150, we know of that fight. Taking off some people off the list, we know of that fight. Putting tax and VAT on electricity to put pressure on the poor people, we know of that fight. The fight we don't know about is when we start fighting one another, treating one another little boys and little girls as if they don't have owner and throw them below the bus. When we start going down that road, it's a recipe for disaster. And anytime you hear a politician start feeling invincible, he starts saying, you see, Igwe, to hell was you, man, I don't want your support. Master Carl, to hell was you, I could win without you. KB, to hell was you, I could win without you. Tam, when you hear they start feeling invincible and feel they could do it without Tam, Dick, and Harry, is a recipe for disaster. Politics is a numbers game. A numbers game. Anytime you start to subtract in politics, you're in trouble. You have to always add. Keep what you have and add. Don't subtract. You understand? We could disagree, but don't crucify one another and humiliate them and treat them as though they're insignificant. They have no value. Don't do that. The devil has his friend. You know how much vote we lose by in St. John? Less by a dozen votes. You know at one time Prime losing Carriacou? Less than 7 votes. Politics is a numbers game. There is no permanent friends, no permanent enemies in politics. It's alliances. We have to focus on the wrong things the NDC doing. Focus on building our party, uniting our party, get our young people to register, having seminars, develop the political consciousness of our people, and prepare our people for taking the country back from these people. But if we lost focus and we start aiming with gun at one another, we go start shooting behind the wrong people. Our focus is unity. Show love to one another. We may disagree. We may not love the strategy of Dr. Mitchell, but don't curse him. You may not like the strategy of Peter David. Don't curse him. You may disagree with the strategy of Delma Thomas. Don't curse her. When we start destroying ourselves like cannibals, they will stay on the side and laugh at us. All we want is unity. All we want is peace, to take this country back from these people. You have to remember our children. They cannot trouble this country now. Our children will have to pay the food, the bills. You prepare a proper home for your kids. You give them a sound education. You develop the spiritual consciousness. But you don't make debt for them to pay. And that is what this government doing. Piling up debt for our children to pay. Because they cannot govern. You must not aid and abet this government in staying to power. We have to get them out come next election, but we must prepare. But if we start fighting one another, going on Facebook and attack Dr. Mitchell, going on Facebook, attack Peter David, going and attack Sister Emlyn Pierre and other people, we will only postponing our victory at the polls.
And our thing is, KB, we recognizing that the National Democratic Congress is not performing with distinction.
Exactly.
They're victimizing the people. We hear,
That is the focus.
we hear all kind of thing about corruption.
That is the focus.
Who's selling gift?
That
They
is the
claim
focus.
there's $18,000, and we ought to be exposing that and don't give air to.
And don't give oxygen to those kind of negative conversation. Don't give oxygen for it. As Master Carl see, KB, let's focus our responsibility.
Yeah, we have a responsibility
people.
to the nation.
We can end up beating Tebe like little woman on River Stone.
No.
We can't do that. We have an agenda. The people depend on us for information after the program Sunday. First phone call I get was my friend Django. KB,
Ian Thomas.
I hear you and Master Carl beat me up on the radio Sunday over PAW92 black four-wheel drive. But I have something to tell you and Master Carl. On Monday, the lady will be having a press conference to deny all those negative allegations you and Master Carl is spouting on the radio.
We're still waiting.
I said, Django, I'm waiting for that radio interview.
So,
I'm waiting.
as you're there on that, KB, so let me address Django again one time. Ian Django Thomas, were you employed in the ministry or in any ministry between 2008 to 2013? If yes, what happened with you in that ministry during the time?
That's hard.
Call KB tonight and tell him
And
that.
tell me what happened. Me and you, his friend, call me.
Are you aware of any transaction taking place with a mechanic in St. Andrew with PAW92? You call KB and tell him that. Tell KB what happened on the night of the 16th of February 2023. Were you in the company of Mr. Ron Redhead on that night? Did you visit any mechanic in St. Andrew that night? Did you and Mr. Redhead meet with the mechanic or a mechanic on the 17th of February 2023 close to any financial institution?
Mama mio.
Have you any information that a check was received on the 17th from that financial institution for PAW92?
Yes, I. Yes, I.
When did you know about the sale of that vehicle, Ian? Did you and any mechanic discuss about getting a percentage of the profit? These are the issues you need to call KB and clear up. Don't wait on press conference because you know. Were you called and informed at any time during this year after February 16th of any moving or transferring of any ownership to PAW92? These are the questions you have to answer, Django.
But Django answer, or the man asking you question, answer, or Django?
And seeing that the AG went on national radio and TV and said the commissioner of labor, the labor commissioner, was not fit for the work. The question is, Django, are you fit for the position you now hold?
Yes, I. Answer.
Did you at any time, Django, go to Dusty Highway and have any conversation in regards to a license? These are the questions you have to ask, Django. That's what you have to answer. Don't wait on people to come in press conference. But we're still waiting on the press conference.
She don't coming by. She don't coming.
These are the questions you have to answer, Ian Django Thomas.
She don't come in no press conference.
And I don't talking about transformational agenda.
My
I hope it's not corruption agenda.
So what about that 10,000 and 10 o'clock in the night? What corresponding?
As we heard it, Ian Django Thomas, last Monday, do you have any idea that $10,000 was handed over last Monday? Ian Django Thomas, do you have any information that last Wednesday, $8,000 was handed over? Ian Django Thomas, do you have any information, because we're asking question, that on the night of last Tuesday, an attempt was made to hand over any funds? These are the questions you want to answer. And while we are asking a question, Django, are you aware of any receipts is received for the handing over of 10 plus 8? When I go to school, Sprague Benz, you are teach me maths.
10
When we
plus
played
8
really
is
good now.
18.
10 plus 8 is 18 grand. You know about it? And while we at it, TAW92. Are you aware that ownership has been transferred recently? That's the question you want to answer, Ian. They will tell you we talk about you again. But these are the questions you must answer, because you see, the job you have, KB, is with the youth. Django, you have to be good to the youth. They say, suffer little children to come unto me, for theirs is the kingdom. And if you could influence the youth, Ian, we must ask these questions of you. Because we want to know if you is a good fit. We want to know. Because you see now, KB, they like to run them out. And KB, these are the same people. And you hear now, so I will say that and I want them to doubt it. They came to you asking your political advice to form political party. So Django, we have your record on file. We don't slander you. We only saying, we just letting out your antecedents. That's yours. You cannot walk away from it. At any time, did you receive any phone call in connection with PAW 92 handing over the gift and you pretend not to know?
What? It show you partner that it was, you know.
He put it.
The man tell the lady, if my partner do that, she worthless. He worthless.
What?
Why the man worthless? You know? He why he tell Lily? When the lady ask him,
Can we leave him with that little clothes on him, Kevin? He's your
no,
friend.
I stripping him.
No, can we leave him with that
Ask
little
Lily,
clothes?
when the lady
Please.
ask him about the transport. Here what Django tell Lily. Boy, if my friend do you that, he worthless. And he and the friend that go and do the transaction.
Leave a little clothes
He
on
and the
him.
friend that go and do the transaction.
And Django, are you a nocturnal person? Because it seems like the information suggests you like to move in the night.
By the Nicodemus, only 10 o'clock in the night, $10,000.
On the 16th of February, 2023, the night of the 16th. That's the questions you have to answer. Nobody can come on press conference. So hold a press conference. And the questions we ask you here, answer them and deny it. Because we're waiting for you to say those things are not true. Deny them.
Deny, we could deny
I
that.
challenge you.
We have the.
Have a press conference and deny it, Mr. Ian Django Thomas.
We can deny that.
So the question is, KB, is this the transformational agenda? Because we say we go debunk the transformation. Is this the transformational agenda? From having persons with good repute to having some with questionable repute. Is this the transformational agenda? Or is corruption embroiled within or cradled or nestled within the transformational agenda? Ian.
But what make it bad? I hear
These are the questions.
I hear the owner go to baby Jesus, you know.
So wait.
The lady go to baby Jesus, you know.
So
The lady go to baby Jesus.
while we at it, school children ask me to ask the present Prime Minister, because they say most times they ask him questions in open forum. He just say he don't know it in here. But when he in town hall, he know everything. When he in town hall, it's David Copperfield. You understand? So the school children tell me to ask the Honorable Prime Minister, are you aware of this situation or the saga with PW 92? Did you have any conversation with anyone with reference to this saga? Did you give any instruction or advice or say to anybody or predict that anything would happen on so and so date? Did what you predict would happen happened? Are you trying to cover up in any way? Because we asking, eh?
Yeah, man.
We don't saying you're doing it, we asking. Are you in any way trying to cover up for Mr. Redhead? Is covering up for a minister at fault part of the transformational agenda? Because they keep saying you don't like the transformational agenda. So, Igwe, if covering up for a minister and a crime is the omission, and based on what is written in it today, the minister agreeing to a crime.
Yes. Of course.
And school children ask, KB, do we have 9 little prime minister in Grenada?
Oh, yes.
Because school children also ask, if you, Mr. Prime Minister, are afraid to deal with, like you can't deal with the boys no more, they're asking that. So they could do what they want, and you must agree, you can't take things because school children say, you're so thirsty for power. That's school children say. That you rather let this thing and it happen just to stay in power. That's what they say. So I could ask you because
yeah.
The reason I'm asking these questions, KB, is not for hot air and bluster. Because we was here Friday and Andre Donald made some utterances about the Honorable Delma Thomas. And the Bob guy, Dr. Bob, had it on the thing. So he listening.
Yeah.
And Dr. Bob, you may have the ear of the Prime Minister and the Honorable Ron and Ian Django.
Call them
So call them and ask them and clear the air.
PAW.
All we want you to do, Dr. Bob, or because the PM talk out scrutiny and he mentioned Dr. Bob, and he also mentioned Miss Kalistra.
Yeah.
Miss Kalistra, they go tell you we say that. So Miss Kalistra ask of the Prime Minister, Ian Django Thomas, and the Honorable Ron Redhead to clear the air. Because you having conflicting report. And when you fail to give the truth, you leave us to speculate.
Yes, man.
So shut us up.
Yeah.
All you have to do, and GBN too, you mentioned GBN. GBN, you have a task. The nation depending on you. Because one time he have a song when I used to go to church. He say, I've counted on Adam, I've counted on Cain, I've counted on Judas, but they was the same. So go tell you all, Paul, I'm counting on you.
Correct.
Dr. Bob,
Yes, man.
Kalistra,
Yes, man.
GBN,
Investigate.
the people counting on all you.
Investigate.
Because they say noise we making up here.
Yeah, man.
And they won't give us an audience to ask them those questions. So you distinguish people.
Yeah, man.
Ask them.
Investigative journalism must be in our
Ask
DNA.
them.
All
we want is the truth. So shut us up.
Yeah, man. CKB and Master Carly.
Those screenshot thing and send for nobody and vex. Shut us up, Ron.
So he sent it on the $10,000.
I don't know school children saying that.
What I
And what happened? He used to call that station. I hear you and Andrew in that station when I was listening and wasn't
he
here.
call once, he
and he
call.
called.
Yeah.
Ron call and shut us up.
Ran Callan set us up. Do
Shut
you
us
know
up.
when the lady report the matter to the police?
KB matter went to the police too.
Why the lady report the matter to the police?
No, but
The police tell the lady,
No,
I'm
we
going,
don't-
yeah, the
KB,
police though, I'm
KB.
going and arrest the minister, you know.
KB, we don't
She
know-
said, no, don't do that, because
KB.
she's an NDC, yeah?
KB, don't say that.
Why the man-
Information to suggest it is alleged. We don't know. No, protect yourself. Protect yourself. It is alleged that the police knew of the matter.
Of the matter.
And when they decided to move in, information suggests some midway arrangement. But you have a guy I need to ask a couple questions too. One, Mr. Terry Forrester.
Public
Mr. Forrester, were you aware or do you know of a matter involving Mr. Redder and PAW 92? Mr. Terry Forrester, the people want to know, did you or did you not try to do damage control? The people want to know that, Mr. Forrester.
So why the Prime Minister cannot discipline anybody in the party?
They say, school children say, you are 9 little Prime Minister.
This thing's so embarrassing, so shameful. I'll tell you a story. One day, Dr. Mitchell was having problem with Grace Duncan. And then they are 8 seats in government. So we did watching, we say, well, I wonder what will happen. How the man go handle this thing? 8 seats. Therefore, you are 8 Prime Minister.
Yeah.
But the leader have to take a decision if he feels it's in the best interest of the party or the country. He might have to take a decision. And Dr. Mitchell took a decision to fire Grace Duncan. It's not something I had supported, but I understand. Understand? Because I always felt Grace was always in the trenches with us during the fight against our blades. Understand? So, notwithstanding all this struggle with NNP, Dr. Mitchell felt the right thing what to do was to get rid of Grace Duncan. And you take up somebody with guts, with strength, and political wisdom to take a decision like that and even put your own party at risk to go back to the poll. Because once you send her home, you have 7, you end up with 7. If you are 8 and you subtract 1, you end up with 7. He did that because he feel is the right thing to do. I don't know if Honorable Deacon have that kind of balls and strength and political strength.
No, but when you
to take that position.
When you're thirsty for power, KB, you're allowing these things to happen.
I don't know.
Because you feel if you make a move, the youth for change go react in a manner you don't want.
But you are allowing him to hold you at ransom?
KB school children tell me to tell you to ask a question to your political son. Why he was not considered for chairman at the party in the last convention. I don't know, school children, what's that? Because just the other, one Friday was the 17th and he had a lot of children matching when we was outside it, and one just run out of the line and tell me, Masakal, when you go back on the radio,
ask him,
find out why Mr. Andrew KB, political son, was not considered for chairmanship.
Tevin, you need to call me, boy.
Because the school child says she don't know if, because he publicly anoint a certain guy. They vex with him. A certain guy like to run him out. They say they don't know if he anoint this guy.
You have wrong.
I don't know. I don't know if it's some wrong good decision he make. I don't know that what they say. So I just asking, seeing that with the People's Parliament. And here we getting a chance because they does not give us the opportunity for we to question them, KB. No. But a calling on, like I say, accounting on Dr. Bob, I know he go do justice to it. Yeah. Accounting on College and GBN.
Yeah, man. Investigative
because
journalism.
the Prime Minister seems to be comfortable with you guys.
Investigate.
But I need to ask Mr. Forrester one more question. Did you know or did you try to influence any decision as it regards to PEW 92? Now, with all that, we must ask Mr. Ranwell a few questions too, because children and they want to know. Because, Mr. Redhead, you have an important part to play in nation building. You're in the youth, you're the youth minister. The youth is the generation next. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well, KB, and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
Yes, man.
Give them a sense of pride, ego to make things easier.
Lyrics.
Let the children's laughter run. Reminds us how we used to be. Everybody searching for a hero run. So some might be searching for you as a hero. People need something to look up to. Not name calling and vehicles, gift selling. Everybody look for you someone to. Although run and never find one. But the children they might want you to be theirs. So they say to ask you this question. Yeah. So I'm duty bound, KB.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question, myself.
Don't want to ask.
I'm going to ask you. you're a police officer. Was a police officer.
Past tense.
Conspiracy case is a difficult case. to
Yes.
prove because there must be what you call a meeting of the mind.
Minds. And
You have to agree.
they have to agree.
So even though I'm in the meeting and I disagree,
Yeah.
you can't charge me for conspiracy.
But if you stay silent, you can use that as a defense and say I didn't say nothing.
Okay, but to prove conspiracy, then
You have
besides
to have some agreement. Is it lynch?
you have to agree.
Yeah.
You have to agree to the crime.
Yeah.
Now, this political leader in high place, Baby Jesus, you knew of the wrong. You knew of the wrong.
I want him to come and say I lie.
And not Baby Jesus, you should never condone it. You should never tolerate it.
That will come back and beat him, man. Don't worry, man. The same
You have
stick,
things you don't compromise on.
the same stick will be the black dog. The white one
You
getting
can
beat
have
up.
people in your party selling people vehicle
This ram good
And don't-
transactions.
and keeping the money, and the person had to go to the police and come to you to
And you-
retrieve their money.
KB and your copy of the check.
And
Check.
the man want to do transaction 10 o'clock in the night. The
Yeah.
man say, well, I don't have that kind of money now. You have to meet me back in the morning. They was real thirsty. Like cocaine zombie.
Like that
So you go 10 o'clock in the night to collect $10,000.
That how Drake does behave.
You go 10 o'clock in the night to collect 10,000.
And they have to guide the
man
young
say, well,
people.
where I getting all that money now? You have to beat me by a rise and Monday when?
So keep
to
it
get that money?
So keep it the transformation agenda. You see, because watch the AG is a woman. Why not speak the truth? Not without she checking because she say let we be straight. She tell us all what can happen about pension and permanent work. She speak the truth. So when she say the Labour Commissioner was not a fit Igwe, she know you have other persons what is not fit.
Yeah.
The Attorney General need to hear you on that matter because I like to run your mouth. I want to hear you. But I need to ask Mr. Reddit a couple questions because you leading the youth. And like I tell you, the children in the future, we have to teach them well, we have to lead them. They want role models. They want to look up to people. So I want you to be above scrutiny, Igwe. So they could comfortably look up to you, Mr. Reddit. And you can be questionable. Like you're telling on the 2 days, you're saying one thing was gift. Then all in the night, you like Nicodemus trying to go on the school children say, all in the night, you're trying to give people phones. Those school children say, I don't know. So here goes my good friend Ron. Did you give any person any money in regards to the gift you say you receive? PAW 92. Did you give a true, honest, factual, and thorough report of what really happened to the new Tuli? Are the things reported in the new Tuli factual? Did you at any time, Mr. Redhead, visited any mechanic in the St. Andrews area on the night of the 16th of February, 2023?
What you doing there in the night?
Did you meet with any mechanic, Mr. Redhead, by a financial institution on the 17th of February, 2023? Did you receive any check? Any check on the 17th of February 2023 in the amount of $10,000? Because, KB, he who allege must prove. Did you went in any place close to the carnage last Monday and hand over any cash to any person in the presence of KB political son, the Hefe in Carrico?
Yes, I. Yes, I.
Did you return to the vicinity of the carnage last Tuesday night? Because the road traffic act say night is after 6
But why is
o'clock.
always in the night
In
you want
criminal
to carry
thing.
transaction? Is Nicodemus?
Did you go to the same vicinity on the carnage on Wednesday of this week and hand over any cash to any person? No. Mr. Redhead, like I tell you,
Well, answer the prosecutor why?
the little children and them, the little children and them go judge you. Because now there will come a time when you go come back to the people. Don't forget that. There will come a time when you go have to return to the people and ask them to return you. And then, don't make it difficult. Answer the hard questions now. I wish Andre Donald was here to think. He has something to say. Sir Eric used to tell people the difficult must be done now. Run. Mr. Redhead, the difficult must be done now. Be clear. Because it seems that you have the support, the full support of the Honorable Prime Minister. So come clean. You boast you win election big, you shouldn't fret.
Well, if they're so popular,
So is part of the transfer, you see, because the transformation agenda, because I don't understand it and I want to know about it, KB. So it's part of the transformational agenda corruption? Or is corruption the linchpin or the quintessential component in the transformational agenda, KB? KB. It begs the question here, KB. What is the transformational agenda? What are we transforming into? So, are we transforming, and to borrow a phrase from KB, are we transforming into a ram good government? When anything goes, you hear man getting 2.3 million just so. When you look at the collaterals, you hear they owe the same institution million just so. You hear they say they have belly and guts to make the tough decision. So is the tough decision in the transformational agenda corruption? Is it? Because corruption, KB, is the dishonest and fraudulent conduct by those in power. So, KB, because I need to ask those questions because we want to be on the same page with the government, because we don't want to some fight in here. We don't want them to bring legislation again to shut up people, or maybe they might bring legislation you can't take bus. If you live in St. Andrews, you might have to get permission to go in St. George. We don't want that. So let us sit and let us have this discussion. So through the media people, the Prime Minister indicated the Dr. Bobs, the Kalistras, the GBN. What are we transforming into? This nation and its people must know, KB, what are we transforming into? So we all could be part and be on the same page.
to poverty.
Because if the boat sink, and if the boat float, if the nation do well, we do well. You know? If the nation don't do good, we don't do good. So ego, we must know, KB, will the transformational agenda be legislated as the same piece of ram goat legislation we had the data control thing? Would the transformation agenda be legislated, that means put into law, so you could have penalty if you don't support it, KB? Because we are still a nation of laws, KB?
Yeah, man.
Albeit, vehicle could sell and nothing happen, money could give, man and nothing happen, but we still a nation of laws.
Yeah, we are a country of laws.
Well, last I check, we are a nation of laws.
Yes. Can do things in an arbitrary way. No.
And would the transformational agenda be a policy to victimize, KB, those who they perceive not supportive of this present administration? And we could give some case in point, KB. Dr. Panchu is a case in point. The people in Carrick is a case in point.
Yeah.
The taking back of the keys and so on. The information.
This one is embarrassing, and
For the
I
Building
never
Code.
realized people had received the keys already.
Is a
for the
case in
home.
point.
People
That-
receive the keys to go in there, to go into the houses, and you want to take it back from them. That's a new one, boy.
Was the transformational agenda only a strategy to win election? And then was restorative justice to the people? Is the transformational agenda designed to embrace corruption? Like the same thing we talk about with Mr. Redhead?
Red had Django as the bodyguard, you know.
Does the present AG support the transformational agenda to embrace corruption? Because she said she didn't see no problem in the Karekuti going to make the force head go against natural justice. And then we see one with the GIF PAW 92 now. What are we need to hear the legal advisor to government on that, KB? Because she's the legal advisor to government, by extension the country. If you're afraid to speak, you have advisors, let them speak for you. Does it mean that if you oppose the transformational agenda, the supporters of the National Congress, does they reserve the right to curse you and belittle you and call your names? Is this part of the transformational agenda? KB, what is the church view on this transformation? Sanford Simon, he's our outspoken fella. Dave King.
I don't hear them view.
I want to hear all you on the transformation. I could ask all you that. Because you present yourself as man of God. Will the transformational agenda be put into writing, into a pamphlet or a book so you could read it, KB? So you could study it? Does it have its time frame? Are you going to give those who misuse the transformational agenda immunity against prosecution, as in the Ramgut legislation? So when they do anything, they know nothing can do them. So it's free will, free rage. What are the resources needed to implement the transformational agenda, KB? Who is the creator or the repositor or the repository of the transformational agenda, KB? Do you have to apply to be part of it and present your CV? Because, KB, these are the questions we must ask to understand the transformational agenda. What are the consequences, KB? And we know the consequence. Because they take your work, over the 1,500 of them, they take their work. They take your dignity from you. They add levy, as you say, on water, levy on electricity, VAT on electricity, VAT on sugar. They make marketing board workers go.
Take away the 150.
Does the transformation agenda make NDC supporters more equal than NNP supporters? Because that's what they're saying. You're supporting NNP supporters have to go. Them NNP working, they have to move them.
Yeah. That is part of the agenda.
Is he making go of all these workers a component of the transformation agenda? Yeah. Now, these are the questions that need to ask KB. But we have with viewers and listeners, KB. So we go take a break.
Yes,
and then we go entertain some calls. Because we give them enough deep sea diving, KB. Yeah, because I still have more to attack on the agenda. I just get one more.
You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with mag wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive. Well, of the 33 chosen.
List some future plans that you have for the Isle of Grenada.
If not your top 5.
Sure, sir.
The top 5.
Well, we campaign on a transformation agenda, and we've started one. Well, it's not so much transformation as perhaps restorative justice.
KB, you here, but KB, before we take some callers, hold on. KB, school children ask a few questions again. They want me to ask through Dr. Bob, through Kalistra, and through GBN, to ask Mr. Ron Redhead if he informed the Integrity Commission about the GIF PAW 92. They want to know that Igwe. Because they're very interactive here, you know. If I go to take them on, Mr. KB, and the other thing is school children indicate by way of information that the lady did not go to the Prime Minister. He called her. That's school children saying. Mr. Prime Minister, did you call the owner of PAW 92 and made certain pronouncement which happened, Igwe? Because the fact is a fact. You receive let me give you an example. You receive a phone call and the person say, Igwe, when you leave the program, go in Belfont place up there and you go meet a black bag.
Collect it.
When you go up there, you meet the black bag. So, you know, it's a fact. So, did you, Mr. PM, call the owner of PAW 92 and give any assurance or assurances? You know, your song used to sing, Blessed Assurance, Jesus is mine. And seeing that they call him this name. I don't like to say that name. Seeing that they call him his name because Judas start with J too. They sold Barabbas. They say kill Christ and let go Barabbas. KB. So school children say to ask the Honorable Prime Minister, did he call the lady? You say any lady don't call him. He call her.
He called the lady.
And gave her blessed assurance that before the week up,
He go get that
some
$10,000.
funds
Yeah.
will be received. And before the week up, by Wednesday, the funds was paid. So is that the transformation agenda covering up? And school children also ask, they like to run, when they get a gift from the Chinese, they run in the Integrity Commission. So the school children want to know if Mr. Redhead informed the Integrity Commission about that particular gift.
So baby Jesus is in the forefront of this thing. What wrong with baby Jesus?
But from the head, the fish just smell a rotten, you know.
Leading right you.
Baby Jesus?
The phone line's blowing up, KB.
Yeah, let's take
Hold on, no.
You ready for them yet?
Just a little while because Ian go call KB.
Okay.
So I want Ian to have all the information when he call KB.
Oh yeah. Django, hurry now, man.
Ian, was the mechanic waiting for you and Ron and I had to show up all day that he had to go to the owner of the vehicle to get redress? Ian, did you promise the mechanic to transfer the vehicle on the 17th? I want to deal with them straight because Ian is a guy I like. On the 17th of February 2023, Ian, did you promise to transfer the vehicle to the mechanic, but you couldn't show up? And the lady in question, the owner of the vehicle, was out of state. And you and Mr. Redhead, as they say, were all you aware that the owner of the vehicle was out of state? And are you still tell the mechanic, come for the transfer and all? And did you hide? When you tell the mechanic, did you tell the mechanic come for the transfer, knowing that the lady was out of state? And did you hide from the mechanic? Because we know the mechanic, Ian.
The man staying in Grenville, not far from
No, KB. Leave him with a little clothes on him, no.
No, man.
Nah, man. Don't strip him there. Let me take some calls now, Igwe.
Let me see who's there.
Somebody call Fufu
Good afternoon to the Grenadian people.
Hey, come.
Blessing, my darling.
Good afternoon, Jibwe. Good afternoon.
Happy
And KB, good afternoon. Look at the man in Moscow, boy.
Yeah, boy, I just like Putin
Look at
today.
the man in Moscow, KB.
Under sanction from NATO and the Western Alliance. What about I will survive.
Well, yes, and I want to say good afternoon to everybody who my brother. I want them. Well, what's going on, boy? This is some tobacco well press, you know. You have to bust the bubble. You have to bust the bubble, but Master Carl.
Too much information.
But, yes, to say something to the Prime Minister anyhow. Prime Minister Dick Mitchell, let your people go, Pharaoh. Let your people go, please, sir. Right. And I know you're listening, let your people go. KB?
Hi.
They're giving, well, boy, they're attacking me left, right, and center.
Take the attack,
but they
man.
weren't able to make it, KB.
No, man, you battle tested, man.
KB, they can't make that.
You battle tested, man.
Django and them, you can't make it. Are you praying? The whole of Grenada are praying. The NDC supposed to pray to see me out of the terminal. I'll be there tomorrow morning. No sickness, no death.
Yeah, man.
Hey, these people remember mine. I remember Master Carl and the NNP. They bring all these time. And none of the other vendors never stand up to say a word for me, Sammy. Me and Papa got fight that battle. Well, they give everybody know. Everyone. All the supporters that jump up after the morning of the election. They jump up, they dance in front of me, they say things. Some of the bossmen, they torment me, they say things. Everybody gets a dose of their own medicine. KB, trust in God. Trust in God, Master Carl. Hold on to that man. Hold on to our Papa God. They say you have to close 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. No frying a chicken. No this, no that. But God is good. I'm here. You understand? And when I listen to you, Master Carl, and KB and Bigway, God bless our radio station, which Ron Redhead, and the one in Moya, like KB of the 81, like KB of the, with this thing, with the car. What kind of corruption? That's why they want to shut us up, you know. That is the reason why they want to shut us up. Bust the bubble. Let the world hear what they're doing. Instead of they hire people to get jobs, they send it home. And to suffer the Grenadian people. To suffer us in this country. You know? I don't work, I don't make a day work. I don't make a day work for this country. But I want to send home everybody. I ain't going nowhere, you know. They are saying, right there, Baba God will show you to stop and poor people. The same chicken that we have to fry, and the same burger and the bread we have to sell. I pay me rent on time. And now you want to get rid of people. How you think God are you think are you in charge of this universe, of this Grenada? Of course, take this country. You know, look at what some of us as Grenadians did to Dr. Mitchell. That man sweat. He gave his life to help this country. And all you say, you do nothing. You do nothing. Ungratefulness is a cost. So that's why a cost take all to be shame. And you can't walk the tongue of St. George to go in the market and buy coconut water now. Because everybody know, hearing about all you of the wrong things that you are doing. I didn't listen to the I did not listen to the voice because I don't want to hear them. I don't want to watch these people. But on the news, somebody tell me, run, spoil. Something to him, a blight take him. Asking Peter Charles David for his qualification. Hey, something wrong with that young man. Something wrong with him. That's my good friend. I used to beg him. Because I knew his father. During the revolution time, as a union man working with Chester friend them in the union place, I used to talk to that young man. After he won his city come back, I talked to him as a mother. And all where you pass, run ready to tell somebody car. Somebody car. Then now you hearing about money. Going to pay mechanics. A bunch of wicked people. Where we going? What you telling the young people? What message you are sending to the young people that are listening? Are you going to gain jobs? And what's wrong with y'all? Boy, are you think are you grave already, yeah? Are you grave dig already? Don't need to you.
All right, Carlos.
Anyhow,
Take care.
I'll be back a little later. Okay?
Take care, yes.
You look at that man in Moscow, boy.
Yes, I
Yes.
just like Putin today.
Yes.
All right, take care.
Anyhow, have a good day.
You
Good
have-
day to everybody.
Thanks for opening
Dr.
back.
Mitchell and Miss Yolande and everybody. Good
Oh,
afternoon.
yes, you always calling your girl.
All right, okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. 4420175, the number to call.
One question before we take the call. School children say to us, through Dr. Bob, through Miss Calistra and through GBN, what is the latest status about the taking back of the keys in Carriacou? So Dr. Bob, you could find out. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Yes. Hey.
How you doing?
KB, Master Carl.
Hey,
Wait.
Professor.
Yeah.
Hey, Chief. I like who open bat and who open bowl today.
Yeah. I tell you, gentlemen, you know, KB and remind you, and I think it was Miss Cami self who said, stop putting Jesus in when referencing the current political leader of the NDC. I agree with her, and I want you guys to take away Jesus, the title, the name of Jesus must not be associated with the anarchy and the terrorizing of the Grenadian people that is currently led by this young man. So baby Judas, grown Judas, whatever name you call, do not use Jesus alongside this young fella's name.
I agree.
This week, gentlemen, this week was not a good week for the NDC at all. This week, let's start with the anger and the frustration visibly on the physical stature of the Prime Minister. Let me tell you something. The reason for the accident is not, well, is bad driving, but it's more associated with anger and the inability to concentrate, you know. Listen, this man was driving to Parliament knowing that Run Your Mouth had just sold a car. He is going on the backdrop that the Grenadian public and the population of Grenada hate his guts for removing the 150 from the elderly. He is also going on, he's taking licks. Gentlemen, watch this. You got to watch this psychologically, you know. He is taking all this amount of licks for the $2.3, $2.5, $2.7 million that was given to one of his ministers, for which he can't say a word because they have him on mute.
The other 8 prime ministers.
The other 8 have him on mute. He doesn't even understand that is what is causing him the anger. You looked at him in Parliament and he's referencing Dr.
He
Mitchell.
looks stressed.
He's stressed. The man is angry. The man is about to have an aneurysm. A blood vessel in his head might just pop because he's uncomfortable. He is held at ransom by some little children. And that's not a good feeling. So he has lost his status. And the Grenadian public is slowly catching on to the predicament in which he finds himself, for which he has no answer, because he likes power. You could see that. And I mean, of course, everybody who aspires to become a leader, it's because they like power. But in his case, KB, I hear you talk about, standing up. Other people have said, fire this minister, do this. But if he does that, he stands a chance of having to call a snap election for which he is not ready yet. And so he is going to continue to be a puppet. And very soon, anytime you see he leaves the country, don't be surprised that any and everybody becomes the acting prime minister, because everybody has to get a piece of the name and fame.
Of the pie and take out picture.
Yes, Carl. Yes. So this week was a really difficult week for the Prime Minister. You could see he was stressed. You could see psychologically and emotionally the kind of decision he's making when he stands up and say that the bill is a bill, an NNP, the architect, they wrote the bill. It shows that as a Prime Minister, you're not very smart when you make statements like that, because the bill is not an NNP bill. That bill comes from way above the pay grade of NNP. Okay?
Just before you go, Dr. Pancho, that is same gentleman, but as he came into government, said, we meet a lot of money. That is the most infantile statement I ever hear from a Prime Minister. To say you meet the treasury with a lot of money.
Carl, that is, you see, it's only children, juvenile minds that could grasp money that way. You and I will say we meet a couple $1 million because we understand the value of money. But children, they don't. So when they see money, they say it's a lot of money. Listen what he said about Grenadians. He said, they will say during the campaign that that's a lot of money. You see again, quantifying. He doesn't have the grasp to quantify it in millions. He quantifies it in a lot or a little bit. He said Grenadians deserve a lot of money. So when he came and he saw money, he said, what?
He get two
and
bill.
he spent a lot of money, and now he broke.
Dead broke.
Dead broke. And that's conundrum in which we find ourselves, Master Carl. So this past week was really not a good week for them, and it will continue to show their ineptness, their incompetence, and their inability to govern the Grenadian.
Well put forward. Well put forward. Well put forward. And I like the opening bat and the opening bowl today.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, at least you said that. You only raised the bar so high.
KB, listen this. They say, Mr. Redhead, when you have to go and visit him in the ministry, you have to put your cell phone in a box outside the door. And anytime he start to talk to you, the first thing he say in school children say, I don't want friend. I don't come for friend. I come to do me work. Even in carnival committee, he tell them he don't want friend. Yeah. He don't want friend.
Hello, 4420175.
Very laughable.
Number to call. Hello.
Afternoon,
Afternoon. How you doing?
Kerry,
Hi.
Igwe,
Hey.
and Master Carl. You know, I feel obligated to call after listening to Dr. Pancho. I worried mighty Fluto. Tuko. Good afternoon, mighty, wherever you are. Take a bow. Now, listening to Dr. Pancho made some valuable points. And I want to say also that, talking about the rushing of that bill, the what is the bill again? The prosecution bill? What data protection?
But
Data protection.
it is strangulation bill.
Strangulation bill, right. Now you've heard the plea from the opposition members, leader of the opposition and the other four.
The other side.
Not 5 of them.
Go ahead.
I say the other side.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So then we heard them talking in Parliament, yes? And gave the full explanation why it is necessary for consultation. And that's why, whether it's in 2012 and March 21, continued discussion or whatever, but the consultation was not done and has to be done. So why this rush and all this plead and all the discussion to put it on a hold and this government side deny the rights of the people? That's what done, I'm talking about money for implementing projects. Which agencies going to not hold up because you have a consultation, let's say 2 weeks, that they go hustle you down, they won't give you the money to spend for the projects, and you know very well, affirmatively, you know how to get money, So where that rush and you denied the right of the people not going in further. This thing is not easy, And the people of this country, majority of the people of this country, really want consultation, because there are aspects of the bill that people want discussion on, That ain't going down easy on the road, If the NDC believe that going down easy on the road with the Grenadian people, they're making a mistake, They need, and there is need for consultation. Those who want to attack the leader of the opposition and attack the St. Andrews Northeast MP, she was brilliant, Cabinet don't make laws to quota. It's Parliament that make laws. Yes, and when they look at the history of the Grenadian people, listen, in 2008 to 13, the NNP got 4 seats in the Parliament. Yeah, Roland Bola, the Right Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell, Dr. Clarice, and the late Edwin Nimrod Carrico, and they stayed with the Grenadian people. And KB, you know that NDC didn't even make the 5 term. So with this growing cries on the ground and the situation on the ground, what taking place? And that last week with denying the consultation to discuss aspects of that bill, people are still waiting. So I continue listening to you.
Thank you. Thanks for your contribution.
I must say something on the bill before we take the next colleague. Now, if we believe, by argument of the government side, that the bill was an NNP bill, let me say it's an NNP bill, so why you don't take any advice on NNP on the bill? If the bill is an NNP bill and they tell you, don't rush it, consult, why you don't take any advice? And secondly, now, I must say that before that caller. Now, when one speaks, you listen to the languages when they speak, not the diction or grammar, the language. When Dr. Mitchell called for division in the House, Lennox Andrew, honorable gentleman, said yes, but with an explanation. So, but the speaker didn't entertain the explanation. But listen this, a NNP bill, as they say, here the cock and bull. Here the hogwash, you know. NNP bill. We need this bill to be passed and to be in place so that we can implement our big project that we have for this country. And these projects have to be supported by the data protection bill. Lennox Andrew. Yeah. So on one side of the mouth, they say it's an NNP bill. But Lennox speak the truth. Yeah. Because he say yes with an explanation. You see, it's why telling them the bill is not no NNP bill. Lie. But I want to ask Mr. Andrew, seeing that he might be the substantive minister in agriculture because Adrian Thomas, they on
yeah.
When are you finishing the proposal to send to the World Bank to get some money for the Ministry of Agriculture? I want you to answer that question because today's question asking this. Let me take the call.
242-0175, numbers to call. Call, ventilate. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, KB.
Good evening.
And Master Carl and Igwe.
Afternoon.
Hey, KB, you gotta be careful right now on that. You're looking like, you're dressing like Putin, but remember they want to lock up Putin, eh?
No, they can't do that. We evading all sanctions over that.
Yeah, something already for Putin. KB, in the tongue of St. George, the chatters of the street say they want the market to be open. They say they're asking for the market to be open.
Which market, St. George or Grenville?
St. George.
Okay.
But they say they're here, the chatters of the street say they're hearing that the caretaker in town wants the MP, the elected MP, to come and sit down with her and discuss the opening of the market. I thought a call like that. In fact, the chatters of the street say they thought a call or a asking like that should be from the PS in the ministry.
That is the same man is asking about the qualification?
Yes. The man, the questioning the qualification. I understand that some caretaker in town, somebody who is not even elected, want the elected representative of the people to come and sit down with them.
Who is that, the breakfast seller?
To discuss. Well, they might maybe a breakfast. They maybe want to discuss a breakfast before the opening. But it seems like the thing is so rude and the thing is so out of order. Is that the chatters on the street is saying that they believe that call should come from the PS. In the discussion of what the government may have, and the PS may discuss it with the MP for the town of St. George, saying, well, look, they want to open the market. But for the MP to go and sit down with somebody who was not even elected to discuss the opening.
Who the people reject twice?
Who the people reject what?
Could I ask you a question? Who opened the market? Is the NDC party opening the market or the government opening the market?
It's supposed to be the government opening the market.
Okay.
But they want to send somebody who is not elected. They want not just sending her. They want the chatters on the street say that what they're picking up is that they want the elected MP to come and sit down with this person to discuss the opening. So I don't know who given the advice. So the chatters in the street say they think, they're not accepting that kind of behavior, that kind of thing. They think that call should come from the government, from the PS level, and not that call coming from somebody who is not elected or some caretaker. I don't know, some NDC caretaker. Because the government itself doesn't really have caretaker.
No.
There is nothing in law saying about caretaker. Really and truly, caretaker is a party talk.
Yeah.
And it's not really something from the parliament, really from the constitution. So the chatters on the street say they're not buying that.
Okay, you're
and
correct.
The chatters on the street also would like to, to ask a question, why it is that these days this call is out there by some NDC activists to hush up a lot of people who is asking questions. Even though these people are not even NNP people. But long as the people open their mouth and they say something that NDC don't like, the key supporters are asking for them to be shut up, banned from certain radio programs, or how could we close down that program? So the chatters on the street saying our democracy, our freedom of speech is being threatened.
Which program they want to close down there?
they're scared about the bill. They say they want some consultation on the bill. They want to know, they want to be certain, and they want to be assured when that bill is passed that they know for sure that there isn't anything they could use to hurt them. So the chatters on the street say they didn't have problem with the bill in the sense of the bill passing. What they want to know, that the bill must pass clean and it shouldn't hurt them, and they should have a proper knowledge of the bill. But to just come and push it down their throat, no. Because they are saying that the government itself is not really producing. So they want to show the population or the nation that they're doing something. So they just blindly go in and pass a bill. Because they're not really doing anything. Because the things they call in progress, like wearing your collar, your short tie on your shoulder, the chatters on the street say that is not progress. The chatters on the street say also going and pick up the electric vehicles by the side of the road is not progress. And picking up old boat and thing like Lagoon Road and thing, that is not progress. Not really
losing $70 million for the Western Main Road project is not progress either.
It's not progress. So the chatters on the street just want to know what happened to these people. And the things they're telling us that is progress. They don't know that that's progress. They know when Lagoon Road was stinking, Dr. Mitchell gets a developer to go there and put a modern port.
Oh, yes.
And they say,
that's a good blow.
And they say the party money was taken away.
A modern port was put there. And that port create jobs for Grenadians up to now.
They forget Ross and the old Lion man.
That port creating not just go there, Grenada, in fact the treasury is getting money from that port. So that port is progress. It's contributing to the consolidated fund.
Not only the port is brought, that what was transformation. When they talking about transformation, send them down there.
That's his progress.
Anytime they start to talk about transformation, say go in Port Louis.
So we've yet to learn what is progress. Is it picking up the chatters on the streets as and they're serious about it? They ask if picking up old boat is progress or old vehicle by the side of the road is progress. They said,
and they're calling for people to go and do it free, eh?
And breaking those win.
Yes. Yeah. They say it's just like picking up garbage. Just now, Wamas go come and tell them, we're picking up your garbage, so that is progress. They said, we just don't understand the kind of progress these people are giving us.
Okay, Para. Thank you.
So,
before you go, one other thing. When the Progress visited the bus terminals, they say Grand Anse would have submerged underwater.
Oh, yes.
The chatters, they say that?
Yes. They say that it has seen Grand Anse Beach.
Yes.
Today, Grand Anse Beach even look more lovely.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, bro.
Okay, brothers. Thanks for calling. 4420175, number to call.
The a school child tell me to ask you if you know about some $13 million on Libya. They want to know if you know anything about that, or maybe you should.
They say they give some. Yeah, about 5 governments in Libya. They say they give one. I don't know which one they give.
Okay.
They say Grenada, the whole Libya.
So we cleared it?
Well, I don't know who they give. They're going to give a friend of theirs. You got about 3 different governments in Libya. Which one they give? So Dr. Bob and them could ask them which one they pay.
Right, well, them try and asking what's going on with that.
Yeah.
4420175, number to call.
Hello.
Hello.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Yes, we're hearing you. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon. I just want to say something this afternoon, no?
Yeah.
I hear so much things. Oh, God. I'm getting confused. I don't even know where to start from, yeah? But it's going to start from the senator in St. Mark, no?
Mm-hmm.
When, during the campaign, the disrespect Dr. Modest very bad. No respect. Shame on you, Clarice. And it continues. Something happened, which they have it undercover, but people still get to know. Now they suspend him in school. My grandmother say, when you're digging holes, you have to dig 2, because you don't know when it's going to fall. So he fell back in the hole that he dig for Dr. Modest. Yeah? I was listening to Carl on Wednesday night. When I finished with Carl, I said, let me go over to GIS to hear what he's saying. When I switched there, one person left to speak.
and I listen to that girl speak. We really hypocrite in the leader. Well, we're going to change that attitude. There is two main parties, NDC and NNP. Yeah? They said with Dr. Kid, they throw him away. Start to walk and shut and you big. That's what they have to do. They only finding fault this when the administration was going to say that happened, that went and that gone. I heard the girl say in that meeting in St. David, she gave the Prime Minister a big heads up and said that, oh, 3 checks for you, Prime Minister. I know you're a bright Prime Minister, and I follow in your footsteps. And when they talk and the backing, you just rise over them and things like that. And the Prime Minister, when she's done, he take the mic and he put the cookie eye, and he says, "Thank you very much. That's the way to end the meeting." Listen to me. In the campaigning, they had interviewed the Senator for St. Mark, like Caro and GBS. When he asked him, why are you want to go to politics? And what he's going to do is to get to politics. He's going to complain that the past administration wasn't doing that. What are they going to do? They're going to build a pharmacy, they're going to build a bank, and they're going to do the road in Bonnet. Yeah? All these things on them. That would make them win the election because of the promises they make to the people. And the people still don't understand what is going on. And all the promises that they make, they're just reversing. And when you all speak to educators, they still say you all tell the lies. So where the lies coming from? Look at the pastors on them. In 2013, Stanford was a supporter of the NDC. When he went to broke the house where the young girl was living, and they said they tell her, give her time to live, and she didn't live, it broke the house. Yeah? When he went to the meeting, when they have the rally, they speak him out like a prom singer. He come on NNP. Now the young one, they know, he go back to the young one. And they not saying nothing what is going wrong. I don't believe in none of these pastors. I know some of the such in the universe. I believe in the Most High, but that pastors them, they are fake. You hear me? Somebody told me, during the campaigning, they hear the pastor in the church preaching for NNP to lose the elections. I said to the guy, did you come from church? He said, no, it's still until service over. I had to tell you how wicked they are. They don't believe in God. They believe in man. Okay? They have this building to do. They have that building to do. They have 3 places to pick up tithes and offering. And remaining poor. When I say the house big as what? The vehicle big as what? I will just say the same way we can move. Huh? That's how you love Grenadians. That's how you try to help Grenadians. During the in the campaign after they won the election, they have Dr. Kit on Facebook with the dirty guy on top of him. I keep letting Dr. Kit going the wrong way with a bottle of liquor in his hand and a cigarette stick on his mouth. Disrespect, and they will never rise. They have to fall because it would disrespect.
Correct.
Listen to the girl. Listen to the girl when they had when they had the thing in Parliament. How she disrespecting the ministers and them. When they're looking for her, they can't find her. But she could bring herself there to respect everybody inside of the NDC have to fall. They have no love. They have no regard. They have to
Thank you,
fall.
thank you,
So
madam.
that's okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. Yeah, man.
Somebody asking for Black Wizard.
Oh, yeah.
They tell me to tell you to ask for Black Wizard.
He's missing in action. He's a
He missing.
MIA.
KB might able to see him, man.
A little while now they say he missing.
Yes, you don't hear him at all.
Now, what a lot of people have to understand, during the election campaign, this present Prime Minister had the remedies for all sickness.
Yeah, man, he had the panacea.
He had the remedies for all maladies. The man say he could even fix seaweed.
I tell him.
When I hear that thing, I say that man taking anything too far, man.
442-0175. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you going? Hey, Bob.
Good day, boy. Can you imagine I sit down here and I'm listening to an NMP woman praying for the country fall?
Praying for the country to fall?
Yes.
No, she said she pray for NDC to fall. She never pray for the country to fall.
NDC boy in power. So if NDC fall, the country falling.
No, NDC, if NDC fall, the country to fall. NDC different from the country. Okay, NNP fall, the country fall. I ask you, NNP fall, the country fall?
Radang.
I ask you, the NNP fall, did Grenada fall?
Shut.
I ask you, Grenada fall, NNP fall, did Grenada fall?
Yeah.
They won't stay, KB.
But you won't stay.
You know they go run. We have one on the WhatsApp. Hello?
4420175.
Hey, good afternoon, KB. Good morning. Good afternoon, Igwe.
You get one. Okay, caller.
Yeah. No, like you're saying, knowledge is power. And it is important that you educate people. Right? Because that bill, there is some problem in the bill where the Grenada people need to know and to understand it. Right? So what the government, what the opinion are asking for, if a consultation, bring it out, let the Grenada people know and understand it, if they're okay with it. So if they're okay, they could be some go take it back to Parliament and to make some adjustment. But what you find happen with this government, anything they agree with, if the leader, especially the leader agree with that, the children had to go ahead, children can oppose the leader. Right? You have to go with what the leader said. Right? And that's what you see happening. They call it a dictatorship. The head have to say, anything say, you have to go. If you say something, and you go take down all the 8 other ministers in the precipice, they have to go with it. And I do believe in any home, you have people there. The smallest child could make a decision. You have to look at the decision that the people that is made. If it's a benefit for the party and a benefit for the Grenada people, you have to go with that. And Master Carl and Iwe again, I want to say something to the Grenadian people. We have to speak up. We have to speak up, and then we have to let the Grenadian people know what is going on. What the aim of this government is to keep people in bondage, to take away the right and the freedom of the Grenadian people. But I always say there is no bill could supersede the constitution of a country.
True.
And the Grenadian people, we have to talk. We have to talk about what is going on. I do believe we want the government to succeed, but when you're doing wrong, you have to talk about the wrong. And KB again, a leader, I consider a leader a successful leader. When you have to take some harsh decisions, when you have ministers doing things that is not right, you have to discipline them. It's better you discipline them, and then you government fall, and then you stay there upholding wrong things as a leader. Because what happened in the end, the children come and they had no respect for you. That's what I think.
Good. Thanks for calling. 4420175, number to call.
All right, we lose that one. Call back.
Call back.
All right, there we go.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh gosh, I think I have the wrong number.
Hello.
Yes, I think I have the wrong number. Sorry.
Okay. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Mr. KB.
How are you doing?
I'm all good. What does a data protection bill do with a project?
Ask Mr. Lennox Andrew. But whilst you're asking that question, ask it through Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob might be able to get him to answer that.
I don't know.
If any agency that is the data protection means like that comes under the all your phone and everything, right? Come under surveillance, I guess. If I'm wrong, correct me, please. Thanks.
I don't know. Maybe.
So if that, then how somebody? So what kind of project would that be?
They never specify.
Yeah. Well, you see, you need to know that. Yeah? What kind of project would that be? And how come, I mean, you're trying to build a house with no foundation here right now. That is what I'm seeing. Yeah? Somebody from outside of wherever they're from, they come and make laws and bylaws without we seeing what it is all about. You have to bring it to the reality, and once if it is beneficial to all, I could understand it, but you're just saying pass it on what basis? Yeah?
Have no
what
idea what
pieces
project
you need to, yeah, but there's a security
associated
come under
to that
security
bill.
threat. Yeah?
Have no idea
This is
what
a-
project associated with that bill.
that is, it's kind of weird in the sense that, I mean, anyone would ask that question, yeah? You need to know this. You can't just jump into conclusions. Yeah, we don't know what behind this, who is behind this, what it is all about, how the citizens of the country is actually going to benefit or not. Yeah? We need to know the evidence behind this thing. You know, you just cannot do things crazy like that behind closed doors. You know, I mean, these are silly policies. People, they need a clear, much more, even the bill is good, there should be an explanation after this, why all this is. Not just a foolish explanation, but we need a proper explanation.
Okay.
Have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you for calling. 442-0175. The number is to call.
Hot.
Call, ventilate. Hello?
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
At 35 minutes I said I put out a net outside to hold his cigar, sir. Look how much are coming down now.
I don't know where he'll order the net from. If he'll make the net in Grenada, I do have no idea. He said he will trap the seaweed in the middle of the ocean, so he won't be coming to. All right, take care. All the best. 442-0175. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Andrew Station.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon. The same bill I was coming in about the data. That's the same bill I was talking about. How you could have a data to control a bill. The talk what outside there, they don't want the talk to be outside. Everything you hear, what's going on there, they don't want that to go on. That is why they're talking about bill. If people don't wise up themselves, they're in trouble, you know. You don't know that? We're going to be in trouble if we don't wise up ourselves. When Dr. Mitchell come with the referendum, everybody kick against it. NDC people said, don't vote for it. And now all you want to do, they know nobody will vote for the bill. That's why they want to pass it without no consultation. That's why they want to do. They don't have money to do projects. We project going to be in jeopardy. Where the money to build the project? What type of project they have? They know they have a project going on. They have money to do things. They don't have money to pay civil servant, but they have money to do projects. Don't let them people and them fool and for me, they don't fool in me. For me, they don't fool in me. I just watch them and just listen. Kalistra, tell Jenny and Kalistra if you didn't talking about with the police. Jack Kalistra talk about the same transport. You know what she said? No police did make no arrest, and no police did not have nothing to say. The lady and I didn't say anything, so you can comment about it. Wednesday coming, I want to hear what they're saying. Come in. Have a blessed afternoon.
Take care, all the best. 442-0175.
Yeah, blow the fuse.
442-0175.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you all doing?
Not bad at all.
Yeah, I calling for the program.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yes, students here, teachers, how are you doing?
Not bad.
Yes, I want to know about that money, that money down in how they call it down so. When down in the parliament where they say, remember the money they go down in the south? That 44,000? I hear nothing again, no more cabinet conclusion again.
Oh, the 290,000?
I don't hear that again.
How much was 44,000?
Well, we know was a lie, so they can't come
about 140, 150,000. But we don't hear nothing about cabinet conclusion again. I think that's...
So cabinet conclusion finished now?
So that disappear.
But this man and them, what wrong with this man and them? This man and them can't govern the country. They can't make it. People just bawling and crying out every day. And they're not addressing the problem. You know? Boy, it's time for these men and them to leave, boss. It's time.
They don't make a year yet, you know.
We hot-in. Make here.
They don't make a year.
We go make you. What year are you talking about?
They don't...
Yeah, 2 kilos? They might put up 20% on goods, you know. I work with a company. They put up 20% on goods, you know. Everything you have to pay for, you know. Everything gone up. Gas price just gone up again, you know. Huh? So what do they want us to do? Are we go sit down in Grenada and just stick with this other shit? I had to call on Dr. Mitchell first. Either we do something. We had a meeting up in St. Mark's. I didn't get time to go up there. Because I was going to give me 2 pence. But I didn't get time to go up there. Because I came from work late. But it's not for these fellas and them fellas doing too much, man. People hurting. And then somebody supporters balling. Where the people balling? Only you, only people balling. These people don't care because as I said to them, we have a job. So you don't see the impact that the people are feeling. You don't see the impact upon the people, how they have been hurting. Some people don't go to the shop to buy nothing. When you look at Tongue on a Friday, Tongue dead. When Kip Mitchell was there, Tongue was breeze. You seen everybody, you're fighting to go to a store, fighting to go to the supermarket, you push in. You can't see. It's time for these guys to go, man. People hurting enough. You understand? I had enough of these men and them, man.
All right, caller.
We have to do something, boss. We have to do
I
something.
understand the passion.
Yes.
Take care. All the best.
All right.
442-0175. Call, ventilate.
Blow the
express yourself.
Are you on balling? KB, you have good hair?
Who is that?
Hey, KB, do you have good hair? It's a Lord balling.
Who is that? Culture?
Yeah, that's someone culture.
Let me hear.
Go and take a store and go within the month without you go get paid for it.
The stone. Where you want me sell stone for culture, man? I don't balling. These people that balling.
Culture hang up the phone. You hang up the phone fast, so.
442-0175. Culture, if you don't balling, don't ball, but you have people that balling. 442-0175.
Culture man go help you make the net to catch the seaweed. Hello.
Culture man making plenty nice. His sister say when he come back, she taking the house she build give him.
I don't know why Culture not open him out.
I don't know why you come and talk your fire.
Culture vex. Culture is not me that balling, people that balling. 442-0175.
Yeah. Yeah, well, time for us to go to the port. We're delaying too much.
All right, take care, Alibet.
All right.
442-0175.
Hello?
Yeah, my phone just cut off, man. Yeah.
That was saying, you can't hang up the phone, so.
Who balling?
The color will call and say, my sister go take back, they're going to come back. But, my friend, this is not an NNP, nail, or who nail.
Culture, we don't go down there. Culture, we don't come to. Well, you see, when you are in meet on the street,
this kind of melee on the radio, we don't. They're not the forum. If you call to make point about the issues which we discussing, we go entertain you. But this kind of personal thing,
talk about
no
issues.
culture, man.
No
And that's what all you're known for, you know. All your afraid issues. It's personal thing I like to get into.
Yeah, no personal thing.
but when you meet the man on the road, you handle him make culture, but not don't use that program for that.
Hello?
442-0175.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I find all the moving bias.
Yeah, go ahead.
Give them a look at Charles, sir. You can tell the donkey here.
Okay.
Stop forcing the people. And them have already online and say them ain't doing nothing. I donkey here.
Caller, what they lie about?
These men who call and make us a comment.
What they lie about?
You correct them if they lie. Tell us what they lie about.
Tell us.
Tell us what they lie about. Yeah, what I'm saying. What they lie about? Tell us.
Check on yourself.
Tell us what they lie about so we can correct them.
And what?
You said they're telling lies. Tell us the lies.
And I don't care.
Tell us the lies.
These men.
Tell us the lies. I don't let you get away with that. Yeah. If they're telling lies on radio, tell us what they're lying about. Tell us.
What the fuck?
Huh?
Wasting time, man. Next
you know how?
Carry that man get a shot ball.
Yeah, man.
Can't play it.
Hello? Hello?
why you are entertaining lunatics?
No, everybody free to express themselves.
They could call on the
These
top.
guys and them, I don't know if somebody blind the eye. I think the man dealing with bad, you know. I think the man dealing with bad. The
No,
man
no.
blinding all the NDC guys.
This program does hurt a lot of people, you know. It does please a lot, but it does
But
hurt a lot of people.
They don't go in and they know what is going to happen. The bread butter so fat, so you care about the poor people.
They don't feel it, they don't know if listen, you have people that don't know if gas go up, you know. You have people that don't know if the goods get more expensive in the shop. You don't know if you have people don't know. They have to pay more for telephone and what for telephone, electricity and water.
Look, this guy used to have 3 for 10, 2 for 5 on the corner. Where is it now? He go bank cut to borrow money not to pull back. That was political gimmick. He was going around with and now we boss.
Yes.
So sad. Bye.
Thank you. 442-0175.
I don't even let in this call and make me deviate from my trajectory.
442.
That just dust off my shoulder, water off my back.
0175.
I don't even hear none.
Hello?
Yeah, no, we talking now, eh? We reasoning now, eh?
Yeah, we're reasoning.
Alright,
But
yeah.
reasoning
Make
about-
sure you sense come back.
Yeah, make sure you sense.
You might hear a little noise in the back about it. My cousin cutting my yard for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we say everybody balling. Now when the NMP was in office, everybody had something. Everybody had money. Everybody used to drink water. Everybody used to eat our food. The road, everything was good. Everything was smooth. Everything was nice. So that NDC come there now, everything turned upside down. Eh? Why?
What is your point? Caller, what is your point?
All road gets bad.
What is your point?
Eh?
What is your point?
I don't give you the point already. I said, when NMP was in office, everybody had a food, everybody had money, people did not poor, everybody was rich, but now NDC come in office now that everybody get back poor.
Culture, I go answer you that. I go answer you.
Alright, culture.
Don't tell me answer you.
Don't let culture man bring us down no rabbit hole, man.
Culture, thanks.
Culture, thanks. Let me answer you. All we saying, the situation get worse. All we saying, the cost of living get worse. All we saying, electricity
Up.
up,
Water.
gas price up, sugar price up, unemployment up, victimization up. You understand? That's what we're saying, you know. If we're telling a lie, all you have to come and say that is not true. The price of sugar is down. The price of gas down. Electricity down. You have to come and say life under the NDC is better than life under the NLP. If that is so, come and say so. People saying no, life is worse under the NDC than when NNP was there. That's what people saying. Culture, if you have difficulty with that, you say so. But it's a fact. When you go to the shop, $200 could hardly buy anything. That is what people saying. They're complaining. Things get worse. 442-0175.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon to each and every one of you day.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Master Carl KB. I don't really make out the other name, but good afternoon to one of you, the whole three of you. And big up Real FM all the time. But I have a little correction. Listen to me carefully.
Yeah.
I have a little correction to make. About the money, when you're saying, many people saying how the money is done. I don't find that the right way to see the thing. Say that they say the money done. We don't know what they do with the money. They hide it in some corner for themselves and they say it done. And they don't take spend it as what you should spend. So saying that the money done so. With me, they won't say the money done so. All I will say that they say. That they saying. Okay?
They see the money done. Don't see the money done.
That they saying.
All right, we get you.
We got you. We got you.
Yes. That they saying.
That they say. All right.
We don't know if they taking the money and hide it under corner or take them out $1,000 so they are custom.
Yeah, you have a point.
They might hide it.
All right, take care.
All right, pleasant afternoon to all of you.
All right, bless. 442
Hold on, wait. I'll tell you. Hello?
Hello.
Listen to the phone, not the radio.
Yeah, go ahead.
What about the gloves on the sun? All you talking about that? Gloves on sun go sky high now, you know.
Yeah.
Because?
Yeah,
So that's killing construction.
$9 for half bag and shoot, yeah.
Right.
All right, that's salient point there.
I forgot about that too.
You get the clip, Igwe?
Yeah, certainly.
Please, you look into.
I didn't know the cost of gravels and sand went up.
Yeah.
A lot of them bring
Cement-
get transformed.
cement
So
go up too.
the cost of the thing go up, you know.
Building
You gotta
materials.
pay more, you know.
Building materials.
Yeah. And that is indicated by the slowing down of the construction industry in the country. People know that. Other people they work in the construction industry, they don't work,
I already fired it.
Yeah, give me the clip because I want people to hear from the Prime Minister himself.
Be very clear that based on my preliminary briefing as it pertains to the Market International Importing Board, we may have to seriously consider ending the life of the Market International Importing Board and reconstituting either a new entity or an entity that really was meant to carry out the mandate of the Market International Importing Board. So I'm saying this early because it may not, also that it does not come as a surprise if we find ourselves there sooner rather than later. But we are here to take decisions. Sometimes you're going to have to take hard decisions. We simply cannot continue kicking the football down the road and expect that you can always come to the government for bailout after bailout after bailout with no turnaround in the fortunes of the entity, with no real plan to achieve the things that Market International. Most persons are aware that that entity has, perhaps for as much as the last 20 years, been one problem child or another. It is hemorrhaging money. My initial brief from the PS in the Ministry of Finance suggests that it is losing as much as in excess of $1 million a month. There have been significant issues in the recent past pertaining to mismanagement, corruption, all kinds of things. You may be aware the Integrity Commission has also had to investigate the comings and goings at the Market International Importing Board. And crucially, I don't think you will find a farmer or any agro-processor in Grenada who holds the Market International Importing Board or who views it positively. And so we are going to have to take critical measures swiftly to address that. Hence the need to have the board put in place so we can take control of the situation and so that we can have firm recommendations.
That the Prime Minister speaking there, KB. And when we say those things, they say in his lies. You hear how he said about we got to end the life of marketing, but then they go all around the country having consultations.
Like, even before he have consultation, he make that statement.
But the bill, they don't want to go and consult the bill with nobody. And when we speak of those things, they say, let's take the colleague.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Master Carl, KB, and Igwe. In as much as you all would like to entertain the callers, I have a suggestion. When you have such callers who refuses to listen and are not making any meaningful contribution to the program, do not waste time with him. It's just spinning top in mode. Because since they come on, since you take the call, I said, they're not listening. And you ask them a question, they're dancing here, dodging here, around the question. The question you're asking, can you say what we are saying is wrong? Can you say what we are saying is not true? They're not answering the question, so don't waste time with them.
Okay.
There are other persons who want to call and make a meaningful contribution. Don't waste time with them because we know that's what they're doing every time. And not only on your program they're doing it, not only on this program they're doing it. They know well what they're doing, so they come in prepared with this nonsense. It's time we put a stop to them. Let them just listen. Thank you.
Thank you. 442-0175.
Hello.
So you understand he would put the VAT on sugar, move it on condom, There is no, Carl and KB, there is no verifiable research to show that Grenadians are reproducing more than any other Caribbean country. So we do not have a need to control our population. One. Secondly, if you check the Ministry of Health, there is no verifiable statistics to show that Grenadians are contracting STDs and STIs more than usual. So to remove the ban on condoms and to say that you are promoting a healthier lifestyle is a misnomer. It's not right and correct information. It is not supported by statistical data. So let me say this here. You look at people's responses. You talk to businessmen, you talk to the regular common shopkeepers in the villages, and everybody is complaining. Their markup has been reduced. Not only have their markups been reduced, but also the sale activity, the movement of goods off the shelf is at a very snail pace. The economy is in bad. And so, KB, when this caller, one of your callers asks you, this is the question we have to ask. Are you better off economically today as opposed when the New National Party was governing? And if the answer is yes, then you say yes. But if the answer is no, and overwhelmingly, the evidence shows that you are worse off today than you were.
That is what we say all the time. Clear?
Yeah.
Before you go, Professor, the Honorable Prime Minister indicated in the budget presentation that the growth for 2022 was 6% KV, and the estimated growth for 2023 is 3.6, which is less.
Yes.
So it's worse off. And we have the data, we have the statistical data.
And that is what their Prime Minister said.
And that will come from him.
Yes.
So when they come in and talk this thing, and I don't worry them. That.
Before you go, Dr. Pancho, I know this one is a sad one. Just say something about two Tivoli people concerning Cosmos John and one of our best cricketers that just passed away. Just say something.
Thank you very much, KB. As you would know, that Cosmos sometimes, and not sometimes, but I have referred to him as Uncle Cosmos.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because him and my uncle Tangler,
they grew together
in my grandfather's house, KB, if you remember.
Yeah.
They grew up in the home of my grandfather, and when I was young, when I was small, I thought he was actually my biological uncle.
Yeah.
And Cosmos, Caron, as we call him, Barrow, as we fondly start remembering him in his later part of the years, was a prolific cricketer representing Tivoli. And he was such a soft-spoken stalwart of the community. He didn't achieve a lot of scholastic achievements, but he was just a very reputable, honest, hard-working man in Tivoli on the Belmont estate, taking care of animals, taking care of his family. And so the community mourns really in the loss of Cosmos. And thank you for that opportunity.
Yeah.
I did not remember that, but that's, those of us who can go back, way back, KB, remember he used to play with the Steel Orchestra. You remember those days?
Yes, he used to play pan.
He used to play pan, and cricket, and involvement generally in the community. So our community has lost a stalwart, and we mourn. We mourn right now, yeah.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Pancho.
So, to his children, let's say to his children, and for the family, Real FM, myself, we send our heartfelt condolences to you, and we are going to be there to support you through this thing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, okay, Professor, KB, a piece of information just for the people to understand. Waters, including mineral water and aerated waters, containing added sugar or other sweetened matter of flavor, and other non-alcoholic beverages not including fruit or vegetable juices. Water and all them they go as serious as a 20% VAT.
On water?
What else do you, KB? I don't know what go happen to Monkpew and people like Glen Egg and them.
I wonder if Culture Man listening. Doesn't when Culture Man we know he's Spring Heroes drink water.
Culture Man
he doesn't buy water. He doesn't buy water.
Mineral water, sparkling water, flavor and other water.
20% Culture Man he go up. 4420175.
And the ordinary man must people like Culture Man them I don't read in. So I don't know. So I'm letting people fool all you.
0175.
But we've done the research.
Hello.
KB,
Hi.
KB,
Hey, mommy.
let me tell you something, KB. KB, I was in the street, hustling in the town of Central for more than 20-something years. I did hustling. And to be honest speaking, KB, I don't have to come on the radio and lie to get no fame.
All right.
It is really hard. It is really hard. I am telling you that. Because on the ground, KB, I know the money I used to make under the NNP government and the money I'm making under NDC government right now. Yes, you have some people, they have their money and they could buy their food and they could pay their bills. But what about the people that some of them are working in the hospital? When they leave their job and they reach on the terminal to get a bus, they don't have the money to pay the bus to go to States. And then they'll come and ask me, Papa God, if I lie, shut me mouth. That when they go in the bank and they put their bank card, or they go in the treasury, they tell them they make a mistake with it. It's the gospel truth today the 19th. It's the honest truth. So some of the callers that is calling and say what they say, things good with them. Praise God for that. But there is people that is suffering.
You're quite right. True.
There is people that is suffering.
True.
Because I have to give away my little burger and my little seed and my little yam. Because I know what hard time is all about. You hear me? And I want them to go. I want NDC to go. Pharaoh, let's go the people. I want them to go. Papa God, hear me. Because it's not me alone. Time. There is hundreds of people in Grenada that is suffering right now.
That's your call. That's your call. That's your call.
Hey, so understand. Look at they want to close the bus terminal at 8 o'clock. And what about the people that live in Sutton and Guam and Victoria? When they close the bus terminal at 8 o'clock, in a weekdays, when they come from work, they can't get a bus. So you are setting the bus. You are setting who operating on the terminal? I don't know. They used to close at 10 o'clock. And now they say 8 o'clock. Now they say 8 o'clock. So what's going on with
less
the
business, less business, less business, less activities. We hear you, we hear you. We hear you.
All you have to go because y'all is not doing things to help the poor people in this country. All is not helping the poor people in this country. So what all you want about Kit Michelle? That man is to help people. When he keep people work, they could have one shop. They could have shop, they would have buy from me. They would have buy from the Indian. Come in town tomorrow morning.
You know.
Come in town tomorrow morning as the Indian. How is business? A lot of Grenadians that have business, they go bankrupt. They just go talking, they go bankrupt. And that's the gospel truth. Have a good evening.
Come, you're so correct. You correct. And you know, boy, sometimes you have to admire Kami and them for the passion.
KB,
hey?
What is the price?
Kami job don't care, man.
What is the price of gas?
Nobody don't giving us.
Nobody don't give us the price of gas. I think on Google it, but and somebody call me and
call and say, Culture Man, what is the price of gas?
Because I need to ask Mr. Andy Williams a question. Yeah, let's take the call.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, we're hearing you.
Yeah. You know how much for 2 pounds sugar? $5. So I will call in and say, if we wishing for the government to fall, the government has to go. Not we wishing for him to fall. when they could buy and I cannot buy, who's suffering? They got to go.
All right, thanks for calling.
For 2 pounds sugar. What about I could buy 2 pounds and the other less fortunate person on the ground cannot buy it? But tell these people
The man put tax on sugar. All right, we hear you, Mama. Take care of the best. 442-0175. The
Hello?
number is to call and ventilate.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, gentlemen. Good afternoon.
How you doing, Chief?
Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hearing you loud and clear.
Right. Thank you. Relative to this, your sugar. I mean, I just heard a lady say that you're 250 cents per pound of sugar, but I've been looking for sugar for the past week and I haven't seen sugar. So I was wondering if there's sugar in the country. But the issue of cost of living, people have been going bankrupt for a few months now. I mean, cost justly for the past 4 months. I mean, it's amazing how some people making it, especially people with children in this country. I don't know how they're getting it done nowadays. I mean, as hard as it might have been before, it's sometimes harder right now. That's a fact. And I would like to talk to Culture Man one day, a long time we didn't see Culture. I'd like to talk to you. There are issues you need to be objective about. Forget this party thing that you're also tied up with. But gentlemen, there's an issue that is being, you might say, argued about nowadays. And there's one lady in particular who brings it up a whole lot. As to the impact that Dickon Mitchell has made on the NDC party. I beg to differ the way the lady, for example, has put it, that it's not Dickon that is responsible for the success of the NDC this time around. It's all the candidates and so on. And I beg to differ absolutely when it comes to that. I am seeing the situation that way, where Dickon holds sway over everything when it comes to the party, when it comes to the government. Not that I have a problem with dictatorship too much, but Dickon is an absolute dictator. That's one thing that is obvious. As easy as he looks, as easy sounding as he looks, I think that's what a lot of people are not looking at for the real sense, to get the objective analysis of what is actually going on. So here we have a problem. Well, Kid Mitchell has said early that you cannot buy a political party. I think you should be convinced that NDC was bought and paid for. And there's a thing that says, who pays the piper calls the tune. Understand that. Who pays the piper is who governs in this country right now. Also adhere to and go along with what a lot of these big shots, as we like to call them, to determine what happens in this country. People don't take that for granted. So here's the situation as far as I see it. All the ministers in his government owe it to Dickon for their position. And I'm not just talking about being the prime minister. He has the right to choose and delegate responsibility to the various people under him. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the whole sway as the owner of the NDC. This is why he retired all the old heads. And you all need to get this kind of thing in perspective. They can retire all the old heads, saying loud and clear, who don't want to hear too bad for them, that hello, a new sheriff is in town, stay aside. I'm going to control it. And he has been doing it effectively to the extent that people are not seeing it because he's lovable. He sounds very easy. He sounds very nice. Now, here is the problem that I'm seeing inside the NDC. And I don't think I'm saying that to make NNP look better or whatever. No way. I just see the fact for what it is in my mind. Right, so here it is. The only person inside of that NDC party that can hold the end on their own is Dickon Mitchell. All the others owe it to him, owe their position to him, and have to be beholden to him prominently. You squeak, you squawk, out you go. But the daring aspect of it is if he's able to put out anybody without creating a lot of confusion. So he can get away with it all for now. You look at on the other side. All the MPs that are in parliament on the other side, each and every one of them can hold their end in their constituency and win their constituency as their own, on their own. You don't have that inside of the NDC. The NDC people are beholden to Dickon Mitchell, so don't expect defection easily. And he has been raining down on Redhead and so on. Remember, during the reign of, let's say, Persuader and what do you call her? The lady that was the head of the NDC before. During this time, Ron Redhead was heading a movement inside of the NDC called Woke. I don't know if you all know about that or remember anything about that. He spearheaded a movement inside NDC called Woke to have the young people go in a push the party in a different direction. They can come in now and he rein in Redhead to the extent that Redhead cannot open his mouth as he wants. Redhead was very loud-mouthed, and honestly, I used to like to hear that guy talk. Tevin Andrews was very loud-mouthed during that time. I used to like to hear him talk. Them guys and them, they are reined in, and they are beholden to Dickon Mitchell and don't expect defection in the situation. That's my take on a lot of issues that people, and if you look at it from that perspective, you will understand a lot of what is going on. You understand the point I'm getting at. You would understand what is actually going on when you look at it from that perspective. A lot of things people are expecting, it wouldn't happen. Dickon have things under control because they are afraid of him. Simple and simple as it is.
Okay, that's it.
Take care, sir.
Thank you, all the best. 442.
Very analytical reasoning there, KB.
KB, School Charles sent a message here for you. Let me read it for you. KB, your son Tevin in Brooklyn this afternoon to tell the people how well and fast he's transforming Carriacou. And guess what? They are saying give generously with a LOL at the end.
You going to hustle?
You going to get
that
more?
Beg?
Yeah, you going to make a beg.
You don't call me this couple of days.
They need 18 grand, you know, so they have to hustle it.
4420175.
Hello?
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing, Chief?
Yeah, I'm holding on. Gentlemen, all the best. Now, the gentleman I just speak there, there was some time that he used to make some statement that I could not go with. I must admit that last statement he made there again, he have hit the nail on his head again. Definitely that hit it. I too heard what Miss Ivan said, that she was written that the election the NDC won, any one of the others could have won it in the party day. That, as far as I'm concerned, is not true. The people rally behind Dickon because Dickon had a message that captivated people. And that is true. So I'm in total support with that caller before. And what is going on now is the same thing that the gentleman said. They are rallying with him. If Dickon was to find them in fault and he had to straighten any one of them, the balloon going to burst. As long as Dickon remain in charge and they submit to him, the NDC is going to fight on. But we're hearing things. We're hearing a lot of things happening. But it seems that Mr. Dickon not taking heed of it. And if he take heed and he start to question these people, we could have a balloon busting. If he just make it fly, they're good for some time. They're good for some time if you allow it to fly. Because there are a lot of questions to be answered. If you realize what is happening in the parliament now, that's about the second or third time the parliament meeting. And you see what they're doing? They fix a few bills and they suspend everything else. So you don't have time to ask questions and wait for answers. You go into that, and that is the situation. If you don't like it, get out. So what is going to happen? As long as they program what they want the parliament to prepare or to come with, they say, okay, we're going with these two bills, and the House is going to accept these two bills because they have a majority. And it appears that a majority coming may be strengthened. It appears that a majority may be strengthened. And if the majority is strengthened, they will have covers to hide.
What is
So
it
we
you're
have to be
trying
very-
to insinuate?
Huh?
What is it you're trying to insinuate?
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm saying what happened and what is happening. Everybody who listened to the last parliament would realize what happened and what is happening. The bill, the opposition members was trying to see if they could get the bill to go through some stages as to explain to people. Mr. Deacon came out and he said, we are going to pass the bill today. And that was it. That was it. So I ain't insinuating anything. It was done. No one of y'all can tell me it wasn't done. Right? And when Mr. Dr. Keith called for a vote, we knew definitely that he couldn't capture because he only had 5 persons with him. Right? And when there was to take the vote, Mr. What's his name? Mr. Andrew was not in. And when he came back, he was trying to ask a question, to make a statement, and he was not allowed to state it. But he did said it afterwards somewhere. Right? But he voted in favor. So I'm not insinuating anything. I'm saying what happened. The parliament seems to be leaning directly to Mr. Deacon Lowe.
Okay.
Right? And if it continue leaning that way to him, one of the other people ain't showing their towel. And he haven't punished them for things that they were question their behavior. He good to go. If he start questioning their behavior, they might end up that they have to answer some questions. But if he ain't question their behavior, nothing wrong.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone about to show to me that what I'm saying is not true. Yeah? Anyone show me it's not true. The House is leaning again.
All right, take care.
Clifford, thanks, man.
All right,
Can I take on Clifford sometime? Sorry.
4420175. Hello?
Yeah, MKB, well, the commission is God. I want to know if he's God. Let thing in on him. There is a God above. And I believe in my Almighty Father God. I believe in my God. Everybody tell it. Are you calling him baby Jesus? So why is saying Grenada goes? Why is saying Grenada goes? He's God. He's not God. I rebuke that term calling him baby Jesus. I rebuke that. He's God. God is the universe of this world. And God will deal with them. Papa God, give me eyes and give me ears to hear. Let me see. You have a bunch of hypocrites in Grenada. They have faith. They don't have faith in God. They could have left faith in man. When they say, and the hurricane is coming here, it is going somewhere else. You understand? And it turned back and it come here. I don't understand all you. A bunch of hypocrites, heavy. A bunch of hypocrites.
We hear you, man.
And this is God in control of Grenada. God in control of that parliament. I rebuke evil forces inside it. But they have to go. They will go.
All right.
They will go. You have a friend people in this country.
All right, take care.
I don't protect somebody. I cannot use the words like somebody. But God understands when I speak. I rebuke them today. These are you, God.
All right, Kami. Okay, Kami.
I will water you, Boblino.
We hear you, Kami. Take care. All right, Kami, we hear you. 442-0175, the number to call.
And NDC government will put an end to contract workers in the public service as
442.
Let's take the call.
0175.
It's me again. I don't care tell my good friend good evening.
Igwe.
cut off this guy. With this program is not for this back and forth. You have to have some respect. It's respect all you don't have. That is why you're treating the Ghanaian public like that. You have places you could call and talk this nonsense. The program here is not for this back and forth. When you do contribute in nothing to educate any person.
442
Call and make some sense. This go on, this back and forth. We don't allow nothing here.
Hello?
KB,
Hi, hello.
how you doing, sir?
Not bad.
All right. As a man who I've admired, and a man that who taught me politics, and a man who been my commander, I am that you are, well, the allegation is that you're fighting to get rid of the political league, and you're supporting Peter David.
Go ahead.
Well, that is the news.
Okay,
now,
okay.
I'm surprised, knowing your experience at the hands of Peter and the guys, and you're the man who was with Keith Mitchell when he got the party in Telescope. You were instrumental in being political leader of the NNP. Why now they are alleging that you want to get rid of Keith Mitchell?
All right, caller, thanks.
I hear what you say, but I just
don't even bother with
feel
that.
offensive, and I think I just want to respond to it a little bit. Not much. So let me tell you something. What you hear on the street, you understand, that is have no truth in it. No one could ever get rid of Dr. Mitchell in NNP. So when you hear people saying KB and them want to get rid of Dr. Mitchell, that can happen. NNP is Dr. Mitchell is NNP. You understand? And Dr. Mitchell said, look, hey, I had enough, I'm going. And I trust the words of Dr. Mitchell. And any NNP will trust Dr. Mitchell with the truth. You understand? I would not condone that statement, or be part of that with you saying that I want to get rid of Keith Mitchell. That is not true. Whoever you hear make up that lies, that's a matter for them.
They catch your
At
attention.
no point in time I want to get rid of Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell said he is going, and NNP trusts him with the truth.
And KB, just to add, and he's a political leader until such time.
And he's a political leader on such time.
So
how I could want to get rid of him?
Where they getting this thing?
And Dr. Mitchell, nobody asked Dr. Mitchell to go. Dr. Mitchell feel had enough of this thing. And if he is up to Dr. Mitchell, he is a big man. Dr. Mitchell still control the base at the NNP party. Even if Dr. Mitchell say he going, you have to still tell Dr. Mitchell to go nowhere.
But even look at functions Dr. Mitchell would attend, KB. And he's still revered by the NNP masses.
You see what them are saying, So nobody cannot push Dr. Mitchell out of NNP. That is impossible.
Don't make them crash thread the thing.
No, man.
Yeah, let me take the call.
They tried to chew you off. Long they trying to juke you.
4420175.
Man almost catch you there.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's up?
Good.
KB,
Hello.
don't let them guys let them chew you off, man.
Nah, man, they can't chew me off that. I'm a testy lieutenant,
Don't worry about that. He's reached to decide that.
Yes, sir.
KB, Master Carl, Kiwi. But by a distance, this government, to be honest, is the worst government that passed in the history of Grenada, without a doubt.
The people cry.
So the few people that is calling and trying to defend the truth, they are wasting their time. We out here, we are feeling it. So that give us the right to speak about it. Sometimes I might be able to buy a pound of sugar. That don't mean there are persons out there that can't buy a pound of sugar and I can speak on their behalf. And that is what happening. Master Carl, I want us to go down memory lane for a little while. I wonder if you could remember just before the election, you had this guy from St. David's, who is now the Minister of Agriculture.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes, Mr. Thomas. So when they had
when they started that hotel in St. David's, he was
Yeah.
one of the persons
Yeah, was demonstrating.
that held a demonstration.
Yeah.
There was another one they called Dunbar. Well, and for what I understand, Dunbar is one of the guys that bring the most amount of news to his representative, Mr. Deacon. And what I want to tell the Prime Minister and the Minister, when such guys bring in news, he should ask them to put it in writing and not go and come. Sit right there and just what you tell me, put it in writing.
And sign it.
In not you don't have to sign it, but I would really like to sit there and write exactly what it is you are saying. Because if you go to St. David's right now, they will tell you about this guy. He is the road officer. He is the supervisor. He is everything. And maybe I can't spell supervisor, but I'm sure he can spell it. I'm sure. You walk in and kick in his name in the road. So it's not a problem bringing news, but put it in writing. And I would like him to sit right there. The news that he's bringing in on people, for them to lose their job, sit and write it. You have a nice day.
Yeah, but I just want to remind you all, politicians love flatterers. So who could sue in people's ears? They love that. 442-0175.
But we also have to be honest. Development also has a price. And you cannot have development without some environmental impact. You cannot have development without changing the physical landscape and the physical infrastructure.
Hello, caller.
Yeah, good day.
Very good.
Yeah. Give me, I always say, is churchship going to let the Ghanaian people know whether they give the next 5 years after that 5 years over? And when you look at what is going on as a leader of a country, the Prime Minister, and you allow certain things going on that is wrong, whether she will be called into question.
Yeah.
Because you are not playing as the real leader in the leader, because you have to discipline your children when they do. They're not what it was, how we do it. You have to discipline them. And I could say, with Dr. Mitchell, if someone in the party do something wrong, he had to discipline, but he could do it the right way. And that will show the quality of a leader you are when you discipline your children when they do something wrong. You have to discipline them to let them do what they're doing is wrong. As Christ said in his word, I hate the sin, but I love the sinner. Right? So then you have to discipline and to correct your children when they're doing wrong. And if you want to be a good leader, a successful leader, you have to discipline the children when they're doing wrong. You have to discipline them, because when you continue, you see them doing wrong, but because you want to hold on to power at all costs, you live in the trend, do all sorts of wrong things, and undermining your leadership, and you make you a weak leader. Making you a weak leader, right? We can look at corruption taking place. We can see campaign of corruption. Within that 9 months in government, the amount of corruption that taking place right now, never happened under NMP. But the amount of 10 in government. So because they have a good NMP had a leadership in Dr. Mitchell, a leader that look and you analyze what's going on and see the need of people. You don't see the need of himself and his members of parliament. You see the need of the Ghanaian people, and you are working to better the living condition of people. And we could compare and say, under this present government now, Ghana is worse off than before the last election and before any time NMP was in government. Because he campaigned and he said that the treasury was full of money. And where are the money? When they step in, who they employ? They don't employ nobody. Who is what they do? They get rid of someone and they put back some. I'm going to finish. So that's my piece.
Right.
You see, Kala, I really want to admire some of you all who showing respect for all your political leader. You understand? And showing respect for all your parliamentarian. showing respect for people who served the NNP in the past and don't throw them under the bus.
I have a comment here from a school child for you.
Yeah.
KB, let me say something. Let me say the timing is not right for Dr. Mitchell to leave. Even Dr. Mitchell has to rethink that decision to leave. If there is a time for Dr. Mitchell to lead the NNP, it is now. We have a caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go right ahead.
Hello, Fufu
Hello?
Hello, Fufu 2075. Call.
Hello?
Hello, we hearing you.
Yeah. Listen, again. Don't look at Prime Minister normally. Look at him very abnormal. When this man's speaking, just look at him in his eyes. And tell me what you will find in his eyes. Those that look at African movies, maybe more for the ladies, not for the men. We have to be very, very, very careful. Even his own ministers and them cannot speak. When he tells them they cannot speak, they have to listen to him. And even though he's wrong and they love him, nobody telling him he's wrong. He's right. Huh? What you will find to us, sir? I would say the opposition, them, they're so calm, they're so cool. I don't know. Do not look at this guy simple. He's not simple. Just look at man when he's speaking. He is not simple. What Mr. Singh just said a while ago, listen to him very careful. Listen to him very, very, I forgot his name. Listen to him very careful. Not simple. This man is not normal, he's abnormal. Just look at him when he's speaking. Yeah, so have a good afternoon.
All right, thank you.
All right, we have one on the WhatsApp. Let's take the one on there. Hello? Hello?
Hi. Hi, Mr. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Okay. Hi, Frank Carl. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. What I want to say, we have history, right? And history is that, I think it was written, I can't remember who said it. A man who does not know his history is like a tree without a root. Now, we have history to prove certain things. And even like when we were growing up in school, our textbooks, like compare King and compare Zaire and Bear and Nancy, we have to learn from these people. Because
we're not hearing you clear, caller.
Okay.
Wow.
Hello?
One breaking up,
Yeah, she signaled to him.
All right.
That's so good. Let's.
You should call her back.
Okay.
Play the clip on me.
Let me play that one there.
Hello, we're not hearing this caller.
Where is it? Igwe.
One of the issues we have to address as a society, and I'm going to quote the now deceased great former leader of Singapore: if you want government on the cheap, you will get cheap government. Part of the challenge we face there in Grenada, if you look at what government ministers work for, we could even compare it to the judiciary. Judges make $15,000 to $16,000, perhaps up to $20,000 when you add benefits and allowances. Do you know what the government ministers work for? They work for $6,000.
Job for the boys.
With a $2,500 transportation allowance, that's the only reason they up the $8,000 or whatever it is, the figure is. Right?
Some may argue that there are people in the country who work harder.
KB.
Yeah.
You understand why the Prime Minister cannot deal with Iran and them?
He know the money smart.
Listen.
Yeah.
Because he knew, or he know,
Yeah.
all corruption.
Yeah.
He can't deal with it. So those who say he in charge, he not in charge. He had 9 little Prime Minister in Grenada. And he tried that last week. School children say. School children say he go try to discipline, and they say, watch. We dot in the water. And he had to make arrangement to fix it. Or not no waiting house. Right now they have him where they want him.
We have two callers.
So you think?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, gentlemen.
How are you doing?
Are you taking mine?
Yeah, go right ahead. Just be brief.
That is, you mean on the what?
You go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I'll tell you something, yeah? Since I was a little boy, I learned two stories that guide my life all the way. And one of them is that story about the sword of Damocles. Are you hearing me?
Yes, yeah, go right ahead. We hear you clear.
Right. That story about the sword of Damocles was a guy placed on a chair with a heavy sword hanging by a thread, a sharp, heavy sword hanging by a thread. He was tied to a chair. And any second now, that sword could be dropped on his head because this sword was a bit too heavy for the thread. So that guy was in an intimidating situation. And I vowed, since a little boy, never to let myself be intimidated. And I'm warning Grenadians, if you know the story of Damocles, equate that story with that man called Deacon Mitchell. And you'll understand what's going on in Grenada. And I'm serious about that. Deacon Mitchell hung as the sword of Damocles above the NDC people, and he's trying to establish that on the Grenadian people. I'm sure I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Take care.
All right, take care, all the best. 442-0175. Hello?
And hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Yeah, we hearing you. Go ahead.
Yes, and to say that all over where you pass, people are calling for the old driver and the team to rescue back Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimatnik. Thank you. Have a good evening.
442-0175. The number to call.
Hello? Hello?
Terry.
Hello? Hello?
Listen to the phone and not the radio.
442-0175, folks. We have 8 minutes left on the Inside Independent Talk for today.
Yeah, KB.
Yeah.
So they say they are all the remedies for all maladies.
Yeah.
And they speak of the transformational agenda, but all we see is victimization.
Yeah.
And it continues. And if a man go on a particular media entity and omit to the commission of a crime, and information is there to suggest that money has been paid, and the Prime Minister of the country should know.
Yes.
Or it is believed that he knows.
Yes.
And he doing nothing about it.
Complicity.
If your child come home with a diamond, and you don't know the diamond come out and you say, child, where you get it from? Because if you don't do that Igwe, and the police come, they go bring the whole family down. Let me take that one.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, KB and Master Carl. Yeah, I would be very brief. No, I heard the Minister of is trying to explain the bill today, and she talking about the letting out of business and the secrecy of companies letting out business. No, that was there from day one, no matter what you do. But the fact is, what they are trying to do to Grenadians, it is not good. The gentleman that talk about the sword, and this is what Deacon Mitchell is for real. The sword over a man's head. If you don't do that, you will surely die. If you don't support Deacon in all his endeavor, as a result of that, Grenadians is going to perish. Those who are on the other side going to sideline them and not make things happen for them. Gentlemen, you keep on the good work and do what you all have to do. I am here listening and ready to defend Grenada, Carriacou.
The irony of what the caller just say, and he speak of the AG. Now let me tell you this, that caller, hold on. This thing about information, And this bill is to try to muzzle certain people Igwe. Listen this. It is not coincident that you heard the news about 2.3 million KB, and then a particular newspaper bring a story from the accused man, Mr. Williams. It is not coincident that you hear about the selling of PAW 92, and the same newspaper bring an article with the same gentleman. But hear this. There was a meeting, and you know that, with the commissioner acting and the Prime Minister about the promotion of 2 persons in Fort George. 24 hours after the meeting, they in that same newspaper. Since before everybody know, and they don't consider it a leak. So that newspaper must know everything.
Yes.
And it's not a leak. But anybody else
is a leak
thing. So that's the hypocrisy in the bill. So she's saying about information. They give their people information. All ambassadors as the election done. All how much people working for, all who been paid for, and it wasn't leak. But now the shoe is on the other foot, KB. They want to kill everybody. Like how Ninja Man said, they want to kill everybody and done. But I couldn't never hurt Real FM.
Yeah, man. 442
Let me take the call.
0175.
Hello.
KB and Mr. Kala come in and I will be brief.
Yes, do that.
I want the Prime Minister to know the houses that built in Karakou and built on the mainland was done under the NNP government. And that was for poor people in this country. And you're telling people now they have to reapply. You don't love Grenada. You don't love Grenada, sir. That is for poor people. And some of your supporters is not seeing that. So yeah. And let me tell you something before I go. Your enemies is all the ministers you have around you. Them will cut your throat. Mark my word today. Run and them will cut your throat. Don't listen. Make your head hard. Make your head hard.
Okay.
Them will cut your throat. Have a good day, Grenada, and have a blessed week. All Grenadians,
All the best,
home and abroad.
Kami. Love you. 4420175.
KB, we have 1 minute left.
Take a call.
Okay. Let me see if we'll get one.
Number to call 4420175.
No, man, that's the end.
Well, that's the end of it.
To all the listeners, the participants.
I know it's good.
To all our friends, and yes, the haters
Can't forget
and
them.
the enemies. I hope all you enjoy the program today. And we'll be back next Sunday with Independent Talk to give more information and to further question the transformational agenda. Good day. Have a blessed afternoon.
Eric Williams, old